I think that's what everybody here wants. I want America to be incredible, great, a brilliant country.
Yeah.
I want that for my country as well. And I'll be honest with you, I always normally sided with the left because I thought that was a way of doing it. But right now, I don't care. I just want the best people to come out and work for the country. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fuck it up. You're going to say dumb stuff. I say dumb stuff. You're going to put in procedures that don't work. We all get that. But what I want, and what I think the vast majority of people want, is people not on Team X or Team Y, but on Team Britain and Team America.
Yeah. There's that saying, you show me a young man who's not a liberal, and I'll show you... Who said that?
Churchill.
And show me an old man who's not a conservative, and I'll show you a man with no brain. I don't necessarily think you have to give up on people. Like, the idea is that at a certain point in time, you realize, like, that too many people are too fucked up, and you have to have more conservative values because that's the only way society can function. But that's like kind of cynical. The idea is that you can't be like an actual, true, kind, progressive person and be successful at life deep into your 60s and 70s. Like, of course you can. It totally can be done. Like, there's real, genuinely kind, compassionate people out there that are intelligent and they're not weak. There's just not that many.
No.
And there's a lot of people that are LARPing. There's a lot of people that are pretending they're progressive, pretending they're kind, when really they're the fucking people keying Teslas. There's a lot of people out there that are just aping this position that they're in. They're faking it.
I think that's one of the big fundamental debates between left and right. Thomas Sowell has a great book about this called Conflict of Visions. It's really fundamentally about what you see as the truth about human nature. The right thinks human nature is imperfect, and that's what it is, and you have to deal with that reality. Some people are going to be criminals, some people are going to be drug addicts, some blah, 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 blah. And the left, particularly at the extreme ends, thinks in a utopian way. Everything is changeable, everything is perfectible, everybody can be improved.
Anybody become a woman?
Anybody can become a woman.
Yeah.
and that's where you get like, the homelessness problem in America. It partly is about that. It's about the idea, well, we'll shut down these terrible, and they were terrible, mental institutions, right?
Right.
And then we give people freedom. Because anybody can handle freedom, right? Freedom is great in and of itself. It's wonderful. And then you leave mentally ill people and drug-addicted people on the streets where they have a horrible life.
Yeah.
And that's really the big difference. Whereas the right, obviously, it really believes in this idea that human nature is corrupted, I suppose. And you have to put things in place to manage that. And both those extremes can go in the wrong direction. And that's why you need a balance between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't have like one party dominate, and I think the good thing about the Republicans getting into office is it forces Democrats to be better.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. I mean, I would love for some like reasonable Democrat to come along that I can get behind. Make a lot of sense. It'd be great. It'd be great. Some people just come to the center. Let's just be reasonable about stuff. Like, it doesn't, like, this idea that you have to become a conservative as you get older. Like, why? Who says so? Why?
There are moments, the homelessness situation in this country is so crazy, but there's moments where it's just really funny. We were walking down the street in DC, and there was this lady, and she was obviously very mentally unwell. She looked at me, and then she went Ashkenazi, and then said something which was a clearly anti-Semitic slur.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa, and then looked at Constantine and went,
biracial bitch. That's what I am.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And what did you guys do to cause this?
Nothing. We're just walking down the street.
Wow.
Yeah. See, we walk around a lot in America, which I think most people drive here. So we encounter a lot of that. And that in every major city that we've been to, that there is a hell of a lot of people who are just mentally ill, man. That's what they are. And they need help.
Yeah.
They don't need to be there with a fucking shopping cart on the street with all their belongings out of their brains.
I think we need to scoop them up, put them in the factories, get them to work, do what China does. They're smart. Imagine if that was my real solution. I mean, China does do that, right? Like, you don't see homeless people on the street in China. They don't tolerate any of that shit. Which is, you would go there, you go, oh, it's better here. But, okay, at what cost?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do with San Francisco? When it gets that bad, What do you do?
You invite Xi Jinping over, they clean the streets right up, man.
Immediately. And the best thing was how Newsom described is like, well, when your friends come to visit, you clean up the house. Like, well, how about you just keep your house clean, you fucking psycho? What are
Yeah.
you talking about?